I'll be broadcasting live in front of the parade route, and a special team of medical professionals will be stopping by, ready to give you tips to keep you healthy this carnival season. Don't miss this special edition of LCMC Health, Keeping You Well Cafe, and WBOK Broadcasting live on Saturday, February 14th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. LCMC Health, tomorrow starts here.
What if just $50 could open the door to your new home? Godan's is inviting you to enter their Key to Your Heart house raffle, where one ticket gives you a chance to win a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in the city of New Orleans. The drawing will happen on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Tickets must be purchased by February 12th at 11:59 p.m. Enter now at RAYZE.it/Key to Your Heart.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton. I'm here with my man, Eddie Francis.
Good
in the house.
morning.
Well, thank you so much for coming in and joining me this morning. I want to apologize to all of our WBOK family of listeners and watchers. We've faced some challenges this morning, but we're working through them, and we are here with you, and we'd love to hear from you. We've got Victor Sims coming on with us this morning, so looking forward to that conversation. And we've got more. So I want to remind you that it's 7:43 a.m. Our babies and kiddos trying to get to school safely. So please, whatever you do, drive safely. Watch out for those school speed limits, 20 miles per hour.
Yes.
Be safe. And so don't rush out the door if you got somewhere to be at 7:45. Hope it's on the other side of the bit, because you're probably not going to make it if it's 15 minutes away. And if it's at 8 o'clock, hope you got your stuff together. And you pulling it all together on that side of making sure you got your backpack, your knapsack, your lunch, if you do that, your watch, your keys, and eyeglasses.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever forgotten your eyeglasses?
I have.
Wow.
You know, one of the worst things is I have my eyeglass case, and it's like I'm good to go. And then the eyeglasses weren't in the eyeglass case.
Oh, man.
Oh,
man.
Like,
that is not.
I'm holding it. I know I'm ready. It's like, well, who is that on? Well, that was on me. So
I have 2 pairs of eyeglasses, and I can't tell you how many times I could find neither pair.
Yeah, right.
I'm just walking around the house like, where are they? And I put stuff in weird places.
Yeah.
So the eyeglasses will be someplace like the closet.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing in the closet. I don't know why I took them off in the closet, but I took them off in the closet.
Yeah.
And I put them on a shelf.
Well,
so there you go.
I get it. Well, of course, it's carnival time, and we've got a lot going on. But how about that crew of Carrollton?
How about them?
Heck? What the heck? I mean, so this is a developing story day by day. And
I bet it is.
Apparently, when they were rolling on the weekend, there were allegations that some of the riders were being aggressive with throwing beads at New Orleans police officers. And then it's like, no, that wasn't happening. They're having fun. It's like, well,
Where are they now?
Yeah,
Mm.
right. Well,
Mm.
well, so the police department reported what they reported. The crew riders, I have to be careful, not the official crew, but
Right.
the riders were saying, no, 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 that wasn't the case. Of course, video showed up,
Yeah.
and kind of looked a little aggressive to me.
Yeah.
And then the crew weighed in, and so they are doing their own investigation. Meanwhile, Mayor Helena Moreno has weighed in, and she's like, I believe the cops.
Mm.
I believe the cops. Well, meanwhile, that day, there were 41 riders removed from the float, which meant as the crew of Carrollton was rolling, and you see all the folks on the floats and see the band members and the dancers and the walkers and the strutters and all the things you see in a really good parade.
Mm.
One float had no riders.
And no riders whatsoever. You don't see that every Mardi Gras.
No. So
Well, I actually just caught a Facebook post where one of the people I'm connected to posted a picture of a rider and said this person had been, and this is on another float, I believe, but they said that person had been aggressively throwing beads at people when they weren't looking.
Ooh.
And so the person who posted it said, my niece has a broken nose because a bag of beads hit her in the face. And so there are people who are coming out now and they're saying, oh, well, yeah, this is what they were doing along the route. This is how they have been behaving. And so I don't know if it was someone from that particular float or if it was someone from another float.
Right, and that particular float was number 10, called Carrollton Boots for the crew's signature throws, and that was about 4 p.m. on Sunday. So it caused some delay, but since they got everybody off of the float, the parade kept rolling, and that float kept floating along, and but with no people. So there hasn't been any more information about that. We now know the number is 41 because we didn't even know that.
Right.
But Roy and I talked about this yesterday. I mean, so they were aggressive, throwing at cops, and now it appears they were throwing at cops and other people, and hurting people. And as of yesterday, nobody's been arrested.
That's the thing. Yeah, I do wonder what it's going to look like. I mean, especially with the crew saying they're going to do their own investigation. Anytime an organization says they're going to do their own investigation, I kind of raise an eyebrow. But actually, one of our Facebook listeners said, Shannon Swift just posted this. It's always been that way. Let's not act surprised. In 2016, a 5-year-old child caught a strand of Confederate flag beads tossed by a rider in the crew of Carrollton Parade. That incident also took place at the Gallia Hall reviewing stands. And so it seems that they do have a bit of a reputation. I witnessed something myself when Mayor Cantrell was still in office. The king of the crew of Carrollton, when she was attempting to do a toast, he wouldn't turn around. He was bending over to get some beads, I guess.
Bending over.
He was bending over. His butt pointed in the mayor's direction, and she called for his attention 3 times. And I'm sitting there going, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. Halima, my wife, she's going, is he doing what I think he's doing? I said, yeah, he's doing it all right.
Bro.
Yeah. And this had to be, I think it was 2023. And so apparently, these folks, they do stuff. That's what it, that's what stringing these stories, that's what it seems that they have a reputation for doing, unfortunately. But if people have gotten hit in the face, if they have shattered bones in their faces or anything like that or anywhere else, and right now, like I said on Facebook, there are people who are saying, this is something we've experienced. I've seen people get beamed in the head. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out.
Well, with 41 people, I can't imagine nobody getting arrested and charged with something, especially with all the cameras. But
yeah.
Perhaps the mayor came out in support of the police, but said, nah, let's not do that. Maybe the chief said, nah, let's not do that. I don't know. But if my baby got a hurt nose or a broken nose, I don't know. I kind of feel like somebody should be responsible in some way.
Yeah.
Look, we're going to go to break. I know. We just got in here, and we're on with our WBOK family of listeners. We appreciate every single one of you. I'm Will Sutton, and with me is Eddie Francis. It's 7:52 a.m. Don't forget, Victor Sims will be coming up. You're listening to WBOK, 12:30 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
A careless driver can change your life in an instant. Do you know what to do or who to call? If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident and do not have an attorney, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free consultation. We can answer all of your questions and estimate the potential value of your case. Call Auto Accident Help Desk and connect with an expert personal injury attorney.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Don't worry how to handle your medical bills, lost wages, and pain. We will get you the money you deserve.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
The consultation is free, and you do not pay any legal fees unless we win or settle your case. Make the smart call. If you've been injured in an auto accident, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free legal consultation.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Well, Saints of God, this is Pastor David Impartan Sr. coming to you over the airways of WBOK, your favorite host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. Want to invite you to our show every Saturday from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. That's Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. Want you to invite your family and friends to a broadcast that's designed to change your life, the way you think, the way you act, and what you eat. We want you to tune in every Saturday at 1 o'clock, WBOK, 12:30 a.m. See you on Saturday.
Good morning, wake up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton here with Eddie Francis, who's doing a little chair dance.
Yeah,
I see you over there.
Yeah, I do.
You.
I gotta do my chair dance.
Let's get it.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. I am feeling it.
Even the Good Morning Show theme music can get you moving now and then.
Yeah, well, theme music should kind of get you, it has to get you in some kind of a groove.
Yeah, yep. Well, speaking of getting in the groove, we had a legislative race. We had these 3 special elections in New Orleans, but they weren't the only elections in the state.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them has drawn quite a bit of national attention, and that is a district that represents Iberville and part of Assumption Parish in the State House, Louisiana District number 60. So the Republican, Brad Dago, was running for the seat, and Democrat, Chastity Verrett Martinez, a Democrat, was running for the seat. Now, this is a district that Donald Trump won by about 13 points in 2024. So we're pretty early in the 26. So that wasn't that long ago that Trump won in that district. Well, the Democrat crushed the Republican, 62% to 38%.
Wow. Yeah, bet people didn't see that one coming.
No.
Well, the voters did.
Well, apparently. and as you know, in off-cycle, quote-unquote, off-cycle elections, not as many people vote, but the people who show up have a reason for voting in those types of elections, in all elections. And folks who showed up said, no, not him.
Right.
No, not you. And no, not them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just one legislative district, but because the Democrat won, this is making news all over the place. It's making news with CBS and Newsweek, with Washington newspapers, national media outlets, including Fox News. They're taking note too.
Yeah, Fox has been. There are some personalities on Fox who have kind of strayed away from the. They've strayed away from the mission a little bit, and they have decided that they at least want to give being journalists a try. And so this is very interesting to see that there are some folks on Fox who are starting to talk about what's right and what's wrong, and they are starting to speak out against MAGA specifically. And so that is very interesting to see. It's a very interesting development.
Yep. Well, the Martinez, who won, is 37 years old. She was elected to the Iberville Parish Council in 2023. Hear that out. 2023. So it's not like she's like some long-time council member, but she got elected in 2023. She works as a salesperson for American Supply Company and helps manage personnel at Florida Marine, a tugboat company. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't sound like Martinez has got a lot of financial wealth and political legacy going on. But who knows? We need to find out some more about her. But according to her campaign, the reason she won is because they focused on local issues and pledged to work to lower insurance rates, upgrade roads and bridges, and represent the issues that face fishers and crawfish farmers.
Oh,
so that probably
that's
resonated.
A big one. That is a big
probably
one.
Resonated, hit on some things like that. And so my colleague Tyler Bridges is following that. And so thankful to Tyler for digging in on that. I think we're going to have to see if we can get Ms. Martinez, state representative-elect, to talk with us about this. That would be good. So, look, folks, it's time for a break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking to none other than Victor Sims. It is 7:59 a.m. Got somewhere to be at 8 o'clock? Roll on over and get to it, because that's as far as you're going to get in the next minute to get on your laptop, fire it up, make a call. Yeah, I'm at work. Okay? Wink, 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 wink. But meanwhile, be safe. Watch our babies on the way to school. The talk line, get ready. You can call in, talk with Victor Sims, 504-582-9422. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
WBOK New Orleans, home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. A West Suburban St. Charles daycare worker in Illinois is accused of giving chewable laxatives to children 2 and under. One mother is speaking out.
We found out from the director that she had fired her employee because she allegedly was giving them these laxatives and saying that it was candy so that they could get sent home because she was overwhelmed.
Police say 23-year-old Giselle Juarez is charged with attempted aggravated battery and child endangerment. A month-long nurses' strike in New York City may be nearing an end as the union and 3 hospitals say they're moving closer to a deal, but both sides remain divided over pay raises for the 15,000 nurses who've been off the job since early January. And the thriller Send Help topped the weekend box office with $10 million in its second week. Solo Mio followed up second with over $7 million, while indie horror Iron Lung followed with $6 million. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. For those of you all have been tuning in since we've been on the air, and welcome to those of you all who are just getting up or turning on the radio or turning on the internet or on YouTube or Facebook Live. We are happy to know that you're there.
Yes, we are. We're very
Always
happy.
happy.
Yep,
And,
very happy.
Eddie's on top of watching, and so let us know that you're there. All right, you can just say hi. You can say good morning. You can ask a question.
Yeah, you can.
You can give us some feedback.
Yep.
You can say, "Will, get closer to the mic."
Yeah. Yes,
Any of
absolutely.
that. We take any and all of that. So we are going to jump in the conversation with our friend and regular contributor, Victor Sims. And you're going to help us with some marriage tips today, huh?
I hope
Good
so.
morning. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Fabulous.
Good. Wonderful.
Happy
Wonderful.
Black History Month.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
There's always a good time to remember our ancestors and what they did and their struggles. And one of the things we're going to talk about, some of the things that isn't expressed about that time, was marriages during slavery times. You know, those were very sacred situations that we had at that point in time. And the overseers at that point recognized the power of marriage, so they continued to try to break that up, knowing that a male would struggle and fight for his family. So therefore, if we separate them, then we have a much better chance of making them docile and not willing to struggle and fight. So, I mean, that was, but that also strengthened marriages when slavery began to end and we more into a Jim Crow situation. The development of family, development of legacies, the development of family wealth, knowing that what had been the problem during the slavery times. You know, so marriage is a very powerful situation in human beings, period, because that's how majority of us got here, was based upon a marriage or individuals being together. So that bond generates deep emotions inside of all of us. We'll do more things for our significant other than we do for anybody else. And technically, that's what it's supposed to be. Marriage vows, and I do a lot of work with marriage vows, and I work with married couples. Understanding these are the guardrails of a relationship. You know, a lot of people, when I work with couples, and I ask them, do you remember what you said on that day? You know, you remember what you said? And because if you remember what you said and you do that, you're going to have very little difficulty in your relationship. But if you don't do what you said, that's going to be a problem. And also, there's a reason why each individual has to give their own vows. It's not a quid pro quo kind of a situation. I'll do this if you do that. That's not what it is. Every person
I didn't say it that way.
You know, each member, the male and the female getting married, has to give their own vows saying what they're going to do. And this is where a lot of problems come in at, because a lot of people think that I have to do certain things based upon whatever society is talking about. not what I said in that marriage. And sometimes when I work with some couples also that not going to survive, and one of the members are very feeling bad about themselves, saying, well, I did all of this, it was a waste of time, I was dedicated to my marriage. I said, no, stop. No. You did what you said you were going to do. You need to pat yourself on the back. Because if you were loyal to your significant other, if you stuck to your vows, because the other side didn't, that's nothing to do with you. You did what you were supposed to do. You did what you said. See, we as human beings, we're attracted to each other. That's just where we're built.
Yep.
You know, and marriage vows are guardrails to say, okay, you can't go over this rail. Once you come down this path, that's the path you have selected. So that means you're inside them guardrails. As long as you stay inside the guardrails, you have a pretty decent situation. That does not mean you're not going to have ups and downs. There's no human relationship on the planet where you're not going to have ups and downs. You have difficulties, hardships, misunderstanding, miscommunications, difference in terminology of certain words and phrases. Our development, the world we grew up in, caused us to develop certain behavior patterns to certain things that transpire. So when we get together as a couple, those things we're going to realize there are differences in that. If you were raised in a family where there was really camaraderie and loving and good family interaction and history and heritage, but the other side might have been in a family that was pretty disgruntled, frustrated, low economic situations, inability to carry out some of the things we want. Well, you put them two people together, they got two different sets of coping skills. And now they got to try to bring them coping skills together. And there are two layers. And in my work with marriages, I break it up into three main categories of the marriage. First, there's the courtship phase. That's the first phase. That's the phase we love. It is absolutely wonderful. We can't wait to get to them. We hate to get away from them. We can talk on the phone all night long. Oh, you the best thing ever happened to me. Where you been all my life?
Yeah, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, and the excitement is just extreme. Yeah. And what it is a biological trick our brains are playing on us. That individual meets my physical desires for a person, and I meet theirs. That's why I can spot you across the room, you spot me, and we start grinning and smiling.
Yeah.
And, it's just absolutely wonderful, you know?
Yeah.
And then we finally get together, we get to know each other, we get to talking about things, and we got similar interests and similar likes, and sometimes some of the interests and likes we tend to make up, you know? Because I'm
come
thinking,
on. What you mean about that? You making them up?
We tend to make them things up, you know, just so we can get close to the person. Something I might not never do.
Like, I see you really like this. Well, I do too, but I don't really.
There you go. There you go. You know, but now that doesn't come out until we shift into the second phase, the relationship phase. Now things change. Now you got to explain yourself. Now the differences of opinion, differences of idea, differences of political affiliation, now they begin to show up, you know. And like I say, now you got to explain yourself. Now there's where you were doing in the courtship phase willingly. Now that you're into the relationship phase, well, I don't think I can do that anymore, you know. And I go really extreme on some of this. You know, I get one of the members like to go into the opera. Well, the other member will go because that will draw them in. Well, after you get into a relationship phase, well, I don't do that no more.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
I just did that because of you. You know,
Right.
I ain't doing that no more.
I did it that one time because I wanted to try something.
There you go. I have some excuse for doing it, you know. But that's when the marriage really gets tested or the relationship gets tested. And because we start seeing these differences of opinion, thoughts, and ideas, and even values also begin to come up and we get into the relationship phase. And then we get into the next phase when we get into the conflict phase. And that's when people come to see me to assist them with getting through the conflicts. And what I do is I bring back up, you remember what you said. I had one gentleman sat on the sofa and I ran down what marriage vows mean, the total commitment to your significant other, that there's no other person or thing on the face of the earth that's more important than your significant other. And he looked at me and said, I didn't know that's what that meant.
What?
His wife dropped, her mouth flew open, at that point in time. Because some people make these vows and don't pay attention to them. You're supposed to say them, so I'm going to say them. Not understanding this is a commitment how you're going to alter your life. Because this is what you're doing. You're altering your life. Your life is no longer just about you. Your life now is about that other person. And I use this symbol of putting hands clasped together. Mm-hmm. That's a marriage. There's no gap in between them. When one moves, the other one moves. Yeah. If there's a gap and something can fit in there, you can have a problem.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you have a problem.
And I guess that's part of why we have witnesses. So it doesn't have to be a big marriage ceremony.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to the courthouse or wherever and there's two people.
To validate
you're
what
saying
it is.
before other people. Or if you got 200, 300, 1,000 people listening.
Yeah. Because you're telling the world, this is the most important person on the planet to me. Now, there are some relationships where that get to be a little complicated. When we get what we call a blended family. Mm-hmm. Whereas the person had a relationship previously, had children. Sure. That relationship separated. And they met someone else and got married. Mm-hmm. And this is where we can have some difficulty here. If both parties in the marriage don't recognize what the vows, because the vows do not say anything about the children. The vows talk about the husband and the wife.
Yeah.
That we are the number one to each other. And some parents don't like to hear me say this. And I have to warn them ahead of time when I'm saying this. I'm about to say something now that you might not like. In your marriage, even though you have children, your spouse comes first.
Yeah.
Even above your children.
Yeah, I have to remind my son, as much as I love you, man, she's my wife.
Yeah.
Then that came before you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, look, we got to take a break.
Okay.
When we come back, we're going to get deeper into the conversation about marriage and what they are, what they're not, what they should be. For those of you all who are married for a short time or a long time, good conversation to tune in on. For those of you all contemplating, definitely good conversation for you to tune in on. And we'll be in conversation more with Victor Sims. I'm Will Sutton, and in with me is Eddie Francis. And this is WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Good Tuesday morning. I'm Daryl Forges with WDSU News, and here's your headlines. This morning, a former teacher at the Academy of Sacred Heart in New Orleans will be in court. 29-year-old Teddy Page has been charged with sex between an educator and student. She was arrested last Thursday after the school notified police, and she was escorted off campus. Her bond was set at $15,000, and a judge issued a stay-away order for the mother of the alleged victim. The crew of Carrollton says it's launching an internal review into an incident where New Orleans police removed 41 members from a float after allegedly throwing the items in an aggressive way at officers. The crew says they're treating these allegations with the utmost seriousness and are fully cooperating with the NOPD. New Orleans Mayor Helena Moreno says she will not tolerate anyone intentionally trying to harm kids, spectators, and officers. And a woman hurt during the shooting inside Dookie Chase's restaurant is cleared to return to California. Her sister shared the update on a fundraising page, raising money to help with her medical bills. The post goes on to say the Los Angeles woman underwent at least 4 surgeries after she was shot 5 times by a gunman who shot into the Treme restaurant last month. I'm Daryl Forges, and that's your headlines for WBOK. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm I'm Leo Jackson, host of Sunday Gospel here every Sunday morning, 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. and 12 o'clock till 2 p.m. You don't want to miss this move of God. It happens only on WBOK. You listen to all day long.
Good morning. Wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
And welcome back to the Good Morning Show. It's 8:16 a.m. You got some place to be at 8:30. You got a little time depending on where you go. Of course, it's going. So 15 to 20 minutes, you're going to get most places, but not all places. And but if you're driving around schools, you need to drive slow. 20 miles per hour, please. Mm-hmm. And watch out for those kiddos. Shout out to the assistant principals on transportation duty. Seems to be one of the requirements that you have to do before you can become a principal. You have to do that transportation duty, as well as the curriculum and some of the other things. So I'm Will Sutton with Eddie Francis, and we're in conversation with Victor Sims about pretty darn important part of life, marriage.
Yeah.
What an institution. I know it's not for everybody, but some of these things apply for folks who are married and been married decades.
Yes.
And also for folks who've been married a few years and folks newlyweds, but also people who are considering marriage, because I believe what you have is a Bill of Rights that's not marriage but partnership.
Partners, right.
Okay, so let's hear about that.
In the Partners Bill of Rights, the main thing that I want to emphasize before I get into them is the fact that when we get together as a couple, sometimes people feel as though to be loved by you, do I have to give up me? The answer to that question is no. I do not give me up. Or I'm dedicated to you, but I'm still very important as well. And my needs, my wants, my desires are mine, and I'm entitled to them, even if they might be different than yours. And that's what caused a lot of marriage difficulties, trying to blend these things together and recognize that I'm a separate and distinct human being, even though I'm dedicated to you. So some of the Partners Bill of Rights. Now, you hand these out to some of my clients just to get the conversation started. When I recognize that there may be this blending of individuals that attempted to happen, but one member is resistant to that. So I give them to this. And this is number one on the Partners Bill of Rights. My partner has the right to feel good about him or herself in spite of me and my problems. Just because I feel miserable, that doesn't always mean my partner should feel that way too. And my partner doesn't always have to be orientated toward fixing things for me. I have the right to feel good about myself in spite of my partner's problems. I care about how my partner feels, but I'm not expected or obligated to fix his or her problems for him or her, or to feel badly just because she or he is feeling badly.
Ooh. Oh man, Ooh. That's So what kind of reaction do you get to that?
Got more than that?
Oh yeah,
oh my God! Oh, yeah. I mean, just that one. Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, see, and when the idea is to place a thought into the person's mind about reality of human beings. You know, we are committed to each other based upon our desire to be committed to each other, but we don't blend into each other. Now, if you so choose to do that, if that's how you want to run your marriage, that's fine. If that's what you want to do. But to feel that I am an independent person, my own thoughts and ideas is normal. And if anyone attempts to take that away from you, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a difficulty.
All right, we got a call. Good morning, Reverend Calhoun. You're on Will Sutton, Eddie Francis, and Victor Sims.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
In the counseling session, we know that there's been an uptick in divorces in people that's been married 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
One of the things is stated that the children are no longer a factor in maintaining the relationship. Victor, I'm trying to find out, when folks come to you and ask you that they've been married 40, 50 years, and you make them say, well, okay, your vow is to death do you part, right?
Yeah.
What is it that you say to them that says that, okay, you got to continue to vow after 40, 50 years?
Well, actually, I can't do that. That's totally up to them. What we would do, we'll attempt to examine the differences that they're having and what generated those differences in the first place. Because each individual, unfortunately, we as human beings, we evolve in time. We begin to change. The person I was at 20, I'm not that same person at 30. The person I was at 30, I'm not the same person at 40. Because I've had different experiences in life, therefore I begin to alter and change. The ability for the couple to express that to each other is where the problem lies if they don't do it. If I begin to have different thoughts and ideas about the world, about myself, I need to have them conversation with my significant other so they can understand who I am at that point in time. And if they have gotten to a point where the differences are so insurmountable that they are incapable based upon their own desires, wishes, and wants, then it's up to them whether or not they want to maintain that. Because to attempt to, and I'm going to use this word and I feel uncomfortable with it, but it's the only one I have, to attempt to force them to stay together is probably going to have major emotional problems for both of them within that home. So they have to be comfortable with making necessary adjustments to their significant other's changes, because that's going to happen. But communication between the two is the key. They have to have open communication. When I say open communication, I mean there's no subject that's off the table. When we begin to hold things inside of us and not express those thoughts, that's where the danger comes. That's where the problem
That's when I find the bitterness actually starts to generate more.
Yeah.
Once bitterness comes into a relationship, it's hard that relationship will be maintained.
Yeah.
But again, when couples come and they no longer have any commonality in things, they don't enjoy doing things together, they don't enjoy being together, I guess I should send them to you.
Yeah, you can send them to me, Rev. I'll do what I can for them.
All right. Well, I thank you so much for your call, Reverend Calhoun. Appreciate you always. Lord's blessings. Have a great day.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. So, I've heard some people call that the gray divorce factor.
Yeah.
So you're aging. As we age, most of us become grayish or silver or gray or something, and so your hair is changing as the relationship is changing. And I looked it up, and so in the 1990s, it was 1 in 10 of couples married 30 years or more were getting divorced, and now it's 1 in 4.
Yeah. Again,
I think that speaks to how culture has changed and kind of what's acceptable.
Culture, distractions, and the biggest thing, in my opinion, is the lack of open communication.
Yeah.
If I begin to have changes in desires and wishes and wants, I should have the conversation with my significant other. I should have being able to talk to them about anything. If something takes place that caused me an emotional discomfort, and sometimes we have these very good rationales for not bringing it up. I don't want to start an argument. I don't be seen as a problem. It's going to be a fight if I say something. These are rationales, but they're really smoke. Because if I don't bring it up, that's going to alter my emotional state. If it alters my emotional state, it's going to alter my behavior. If it alters my behavior, I get different consequences. So now my significant other don't quite know what's going on with me because I'm beginning to adjust and change. And the society that we have is also a problem because it has so many different distractions.
Yeah. Well, I know you just hit point 1, but oh my God,
I know
there's so much in point 1. I'm going to have to get a printout, and before you even get to the other ones, I think I got to work on point 1.
Yeah.
For sure. So, and that's from a guy who's been married more than 40 years. So,
yeah,
y'all think about that. I'm saying I work more on that.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to break, and when we come back, more conversation with Victor Sims about marriage, getting together, staying together, and partnerships, marriage and partnerships, how to make it work, warning signs, and a partnership Bill of Rights. The talk line is 504-582-9422. Yes, Raquel, I see you. Hold on. 504-582-9422. This is WBOK, 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Hey, this is Steve Poston. Be sure to listen to WBOK 1230 a.m. every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and Sunday evening at 5 p.m., bringing you the best Southern Soul barroom music with the Southern Soul Weekend Party Mix, hosted by me, of course. I'll be playing your favorite Southern Soul music by artists from all over the South, right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. or online at WBOK1230.com. The station you listen to longer. Listen to longer. Listen to longer.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month from the Community Scientist and Rise St. James. This month's focus is polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAHs, formed when fuels like oil, gas, wood, or trash are burned. These chemicals can enter the air we breathe and settle into our soil and water. Many PAHs are known carcinogens, adding to the health burdens faced by communities living near industry. Learn how to protect your health at risestjames.org.
The National World War II Museum, located in the Warehouse District of New Orleans. The National World War II Museum tells the story of America's experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. Visit them online at www.nationalww2museum.org for time tickets and safety information.
The Ron Kelly Show. Real talk, bold truth. Tune in for your weekly dose of unapologetic conversations that don't dodge the truth or dilute the message. Stay informed on the issues that matter most on The Ron Kelly Show, every Monday at 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 a.m.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. For those of you all who have been with us, and welcome to the Good Morning Show. To those of you all who are just waking up, it's 8:30 a.m. You got to be somewhere at 8:30. Mm-hmm. You're late, but doesn't mean you shouldn't go. Even the doctors give you 10 minutes, but you do have to get there at most cases, unless you know them.
Yeah.
You hit the minute 11, and it's like, nope. Cancel. And you're going to pay.
I know, man.
I know. It's like that. It's like this. Be careful. Be careful. Drive safely and watch out for our kiddos. We're in conversation with Victor Sims. I'm Will Sutton and Eddie Francis, and we're talking about marriages and partnerships. And just point one of your partnership Bill of Rights is like, woo!
Yeah.
Woo! I would ask you to repeat it, but you got some more.
It was like a tsunami of commitment. Yeah.
So, all right. So let's hear it.
All right. I'm going to go with number 2.
Okay.
My partner has the right to express his or her feelings and share his or her pain. I do not have to take his or her expression or feelings personally and feel guilty, at fault, or blame. I have the right to express my feelings and share my pain. I will do so respectfully, and my partner does not have to take what I say to him or her personally and feel guilty or at fault or accept blame just because I give it.
Woo! Okay, I'm going to let that soak in a bit.
Okay.
Respectfully.
Yeah, I was like, what part would you like to elaborate on? What's your favorite part of that one?
Well, it's the idea that, again, the separation of the two individuals and recognizing that. We're two different people, despite that we're together. There are different things that impact me that don't impact her. There are different things that impact her that don't impact me. So because she feels a particular way about something, and I don't, that doesn't mean I have to feel guilty. I really should feel that way. No, I don't have to feel that way. I can express my thoughts, ideas, and feelings, and she can express hers. And we're entitled to have different feelings about it. Because I don't agree doesn't mean I have to feel that there's something wrong with me because I don't agree with that particular thought or idea that my partner has. You know.
Well, we got a caller, so we're gonna hear from Raquel. You're on with Will Sutton, Eddie Francis, and Victor Sims. How are you? Good morning.
All right. Good morning, Will. Good morning, Eddie, and good morning. I guess I'm hoping I have permission to see Dr. Caravan of Love.
Wait, what?
Okay.
If that's what you want to say, I will accept it.
Okay, well, that's it. I have permission. And, I got a message, Will. I must say, I am glad that you Batman and today instead of Robin. And, okay.
Team player.
So
put me in, Coach.
Thank you. So, Doc, I'm just going back, piggybacking on the last call of Dr. Reverend.
Calhoun.
Calhoun. I was saying for us with, putting the children, underneath, your marriage and your partner and I don't know. I'm just having a little trouble because I'm in that situation right now as we speak.
Okay.
The only reason why I'm separated from my husband I say 10 years. I might be able to have permission to say 20 because we was together in a relationship 10 years before our 10-year marriage.
Oh, okay.
So by that being said, I did well enough homework. So by that being said, the reason why we're separated and stuff right now is the fact, my husband, suffer with a severe case of PTSD because he's a Gulf War veteran.
Okay.
And by that being said, I had struggled with that for 20 more years and stuff with him. And that created a real bad case threatening me and my baby's stability because we have a 5-year-old. We had a kid after 17 years because he helped me raise my 5 kids that he met me with.
Okay.
So by that being said, I mean, our whole relationship, I could say, between, prior to our marriage and everything, I could say I moved maybe over a dozen times because he, just struggled real bad with our stability. He couldn't keep, a house, stable enough for us to live in, after a year. I mean, it seemed like every other year we was moving because he struggled with, depression, and also, he had a bad case of, addiction. So by that being said, I had to forfeit the marriage, a little something for us with, separating divorce, because I had to make sure that I demanded stability for, the innocence that, that's among us now. I can see if, we, my kids were all, because my father, he did help me raise, of age and stuff, like I said. My youngest, before, the child that we, bared together and stuff, was 17 years old before I got pregnant with our 5-year-old and stuff. So by that being said, I can see if, we didn't have him and my kid, I can maybe afford a little more to struggle, whatever, because we didn't have any. But by, we having, our baby boy, and I can't see myself, really, gambling in that, because somebody got to have stability, on either side. It didn't matter. I just say somebody. Okay. So I chose me.
Okay. Well,
So-
let me step. You have a lot going on.
Thank you, Raquel. Appreciate your call, and we're going to get Victor's response.
Yeah, you have a
Lord's
lot.
blessing.
You have a lot going on there. First of all, you had the blended family situation. The blended family is when children from a previous relationship come into this new marriage. And one of the things about that situation, and sometimes parents don't like to hear me say this, but it's a fact. Once you get married, once you set in vows, your spouse is number one. And that means your children come in number 2, 3, 4, 5, however you want to put them, but spouse is number one. So that's one difficulty. Him having post-traumatic stress disorder, that's a whole new ball game there. That's an entirely new set of emotional difficulties that the two of you are going to have to struggle with together, primarily him. I hope he receives some form of psychiatric assistance from the VA to assist him with dealing with his emotions. Also, there's a lot of anger management that takes place within that, as well as potential substance abuse. Post-traumatic stress disorder has a great deal of anger attached to it. Because I don't want to go too deep into it because I can get to the weeds with that. But it has a lot of anger attached to it, and sometimes substance abuse is necessary because the individual is trying to self-medicate. They're trying to calm down their emotional difficulties and their inability to handle things that are problematic. For the most of us who haven't gone through that would have. So for the two of you, and I can see why I can eventually get to the point we have to separate. But counseling and him individually, y'all together would have been better suited to potentially save this relationship. But I can definitely understand the reason why. Because you had a lot going on there. The financial aspects of it also brought up stress and anxiety to the relationship. I guess his inability to have consistent occupation, which can pay bills, also played a role in it. But his emotional issues and psychiatric issues probably prevented that from happening. Because anything happened on his job that was uncomfortable to him, there's a chance he overreacted to it. Therefore, he could not maintain his job. So I'm sorry to hear that y'all separated, and I'm hoping that he is receiving some form of assistance. If he isn't, if friends or whatever, encourage him to get to the VA and let the VA know what is transpiring with him, because he probably needs help both emotionally and with substance abuse issues.
So, Victor, that makes me think about something about people expressing their pain, expressing whatever it is that they're going through. What about allowing for, or at least getting some sort of idea that your partner may have a neurodivergence? So, in my case, it's ADHD. And so I've been talking to my therapist for about over a year now, about emotional regulation and what that looks like and how to do it. And if my wife is upset, she has a right to be upset. Don't tell her things like, don't be upset. So how can a couple who may not even realize that a neurodivergence such as ADHD or maybe even autism or something like that, how can they allow for that? What can they do?
They may not be able to allow for it. They may need to seek assistance for it. Because if I don't quite know what the issue is, but I know that we've got an issue, maybe I need to seek some assistance to try to identify what the problem is.
So when there are more questions than answers.
Yes. Then you seek some assistance for that. Strength is admitting where you're weak. Yeah. And if I'm having a difficulty and I cannot overcome it, admit that I'm weak, seek out the assistance that are out there to help me deal with it. Because obviously that's my wife, that's my husband. I love them, I want to be with them, but there's some aspect of their personality based upon their neural issue that's causing them not to be able to be a healthy person. And if we have open communication and we find out that there's really not a concrete rationale for this reaction from the individual who has the problem, then there's something else going on that we don't know about. Yeah. Our lack of knowledge, our lack of knowledge about it says, go seek some help. Go get some help. Go talk to your pastor. Go talk to someone like myself, but go talk to somebody. Don't keep that locked inside, because if you do, I can guarantee you there will be an explosion.
All right. So what you got, number 3?
Okay. Well, I'm going to jump down to something I've been reading. I think it's so interesting to us. Excuse me. I'm going to go to number 5. My partner has the right to be whomever she or he is and doesn't have to change to pacify me. This includes a right to do his or her task in his or her own way without being discounted. I can learn to tolerate and appreciate his or her differences from me rather than to have to convert him or her to my way of thinking, doing, or living in every way. So again, I'm an individual. I'm married to you. I want to be married with you, but I'm an individual. And I'm entitled to my thoughts, my ideas, my interests, my likes, and you're entitled to yours. And if they're different, technically what I tell couples is expand your horizons. If your significant other has interests that you don't know about, get into them. You might find that you enjoy it. I was talking to you about me and Mardi Gras. I love Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is my favorite holiday from time. I think I was born in October. I knew my mama had me out there. I know it. I know I was in the crib out there on St. Charles Avenue, okay? So that's what it was. So when me and my wife got together, we had 3 young boys. So we were going out there, going to the same spot every year. Every year, we out there in Mardi Gras. We on St. Charles, 6 in St. Charles. That was our corner every year. Well, when my boys got to be in their early, late teens, 18, 19 years old, well, they're not doing their own thing. So I'm saying, well, baby, come on, let's go out. She said, I ain't going out there. I said, what? She said, I don't like Mardi Gras. I said, wait, where did this come from? She said, the only reason I went out there because I wanted to make sure you didn't hurt my boys. So, drastic change and difference. But she said, I'm going to be home. You go do your thing. So that's what I went and did. I went and did what I want to do. She did what she wanted to do. Yeah. And to have those differences of opinion is fine. I can be me. You can be you. And it's okay. Yeah. That's a good relationship. Again, if I have to be you in order to us to have a good time, we're going to have a problem.
Right.
I guarantee we're going to have a problem. And some people attempt to adhere to that because they're supposed to be with this thing or another. But if I'm not being me, after a while, that's going to cause a problem. I'm going to start developing initially a little animosity, little frustration, little irritation, and eventually I'm going to get to the point of being angry. And sometimes I might even recognize what's happening with me. I just feel as though you not let me be who I want to be. And that's when the problem starts in the relationship.
So what you're telling me is that I'm going to have to sit through these Harry Potter marathons with my wife.
Not have to.
She's dragging me, kicking and screaming. She's like, "Oh, you got to see the first one. You got to see." Oh, I'm like, "Okay, I'll watch it."
See, you just agreed to it.
I'll watch it.
You agreed to it, and that's the key. If you were steadfast, no, I'm not going to do it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Now that may be disappointing to her, but that's something you can help her through by doing some other thing.
She's waiting for an enthusiastic yes. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. The woman makes me weak, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
See, as long as you're doing it because you made the decision to do it, that's a great thing. Because now we do sacrifice for our significant others willingly. That's the key. The phrase is willing. I will willingly do something I normally would not do for you, but I'm willing to do it. If I have to do it, that's where the problem comes in.
Yeah.
You know? Another part in the Bill of Rights. My partner has the right to his or her dislikes and doesn't always have to please me or sell him or herself short. It is all right for my partner to have his or her own taste, whether they are the same as mine or not. I have the right to my likes and dislikes and don't always have to be pleased to please my partner or to sell myself short. It's all right for me to have tastes and that are different from those of my partner, which was you were just saying. You know, it's okay for us to be different.
Yeah.
And it's okay to have different interests, different likes. It's fine. And there's not a problem with that. And it's okay that if a particular thing that my significant other wants to do, I'm not really wild about it, like my wife did for Mardi Gras. I went, she stayed home. She was happy doing her thing. I was happy doing my thing. And we got together later in the evening. We had a good time, you know. But if it's forced, if I force her to come out there by using some form of guilt, you always come with me. You ought to do this for me. It's for me. If I do that, be prepared for when the boomerang comes around. And when it's now, she's going to do that same thing to you on something you don't want to do. Now we're forcing each other into activities that we really don't care for. So I'm sitting there at whatever she want to do, miserable as I can be, feeling that I'm being forced to do it, generating animosity inside of me because of my significant other. And she's sitting there wondering why I'm not enjoying myself. So now she's having uncomfortable emotion because of me. She can't enjoy the activity. I'm sitting there miserable as I can possibly be. We just created a bad situation in our relationship. So I can be me, you can be you, and it's okay. It's a sign of a good relationship.
So I want to use Eddie as an example because you brought it up. You put it on the air.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between saying, I want chicken, I want beef, okay, for dinner. Or I want a cheeseburger, you want hot dog. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I want to go to the event. Well, I really don't want to go to the event. The event's going to be an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes. But there's a start, there's an end. And sometimes you say, okay, what's the signal? When it's time to go. And we agreeing that it's going to be time to go. But with this is like a huge commitment of time.
Yeah.
And because I've seen Harry Potter movies.
Oh, yeah.
And as good as they are, they're long.
They are long, man.
They are long.
Yes.
And so to commit to not a movie, but a marathon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's that or a series on Netflix or whatever, and you're making that commitment, it's like, because, well, I don't know about your wife, but my wife doesn't just want me to sit there. She wants me to be engaged.
Yeah.
Oh,
know
yeah.
what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing, as opposed to I just want you next to me. So
Oh, yeah, no.
that's a whole different thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, the movie can't watch me. Now I gotta watch it. I gotta know what's happening with Slytherin and all that stuff. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Now, understanding that there is a difference here, and understanding that there is a different interest in that situation is important. If I decide that I can come to tolerate one particular thing, like the first movie, okay, baby, look, I'm being you right now. Look, I watched the first one, but I need a break after that, because I can't go from the one to the other to the other. That's just not me. Now I'll be willing to give up that first one, but after that, I need a break. Maybe we can try it again next week on the next one or something else. Your opinions are very important here. So compromise is the issue. But compromise comes from open communication. I have to express my feelings about this desire early on. She expects her feelings. Then we try to find something that works for both of us, not work for one of us. If it's just for one of us, there's a potential to have a problem if that's something I really don't want to do.
Well, good luck, Eddie.
Thank you. Thank you.
At least they're good movies.
They are good. I like them.
You know,
but but the holidays, oh man, that's our time. It's a marathon then.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you, Victor Sims, for coming in today.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Helping us with our marriages, or at least with mine. I continue to travel along this journey and look for ways to be better and better, and this has been helpful today. I'm going to take a picture of that number one, and I'm going to go ahead and share it with my wife, whether she's listening or not. And I think I have some work to do. I think I'm pretty good on some of those parts, but it's like that whole thing you read. Okay, but I'm going to make a commitment to follow through on number one. I'll read some of the other ones. I'm going to work on that number one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming in, Victor Sims. Always a pleasure.
More than welcome.
Always learning something new, different, little different twist, and really appreciate your coming in again.
Not a problem.
Today. I'm Will Sutton with Eddie Francis, and the show is not over yet, so stay tuned. After the break, we'll talk some more about news and information that you want to know, might want to know. And, of course, I got to tell you, there's a special election runoff or two coming up. And so I know y'all enjoying Carnival, enjoying all the Mardi Gras stuff, enjoying your king cake, but y'all got to get out and vote. And I want you to know about that for sure. The talk line is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422. And some of them might like to hear the number in a different voice.
Oh, 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422.
All right, so if you don't listen to men, listen to him. Okay, call that number. Call the number Eddie gave you. So, well, this is WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityInvestments.com. Offscript Media has its eyes on the future of content. It's a vertically integrated and creator-powered media and commerce company that views itself as a one-stop shop for someone making content. Datavio Samuels is CEO of Offscript, and he says the company is focused on content creators in social.
Yeah, look, I think that social is the number one platform that matters. It's where all of the world's attention is. So often you're finding these people because they are popping or doing something really incredible in social. But when it comes to how can you help monetize them, how can you build them, do they have real proof points that they can create long-form content that can sustain attention? YouTube is that space.
Offscript is charting new territory, taking the more traditional idea of an A&R at a record label and updating it for the digital age. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
In plain view for all to see, during a peaceful protest in Minneapolis, Minnesota, they gunned down a helpless man in broad daylight and then attempted to tell us that we didn't see what we saw. In fact, we sure as hell did see Border Patrol police slam VA nurse Alex Preddy to the ground, gang up on him like a pack of wild rabid dogs, beat and shoot him to death after they disarmed him. Preddy, a U.S. citizen, was not a threat. Video recording showed him only attempting to help an unidentified woman who was being thrown around by the Border Patrol goons like she was a rag doll. Preddy had been recording the incident with his cell phone. While Preddy lay dying, the Trump administration, without empathy or sensitivity regarding the tragedy and prior to an investigation, immediately began spreading a false narrative that Preddy approached the officers with a gun in his hand with intent to harm law enforcement. The video of the encounter clearly shows that Preddy was holding a phone, not a gun. The officers did find a gun in his waistband. It's not against the law to carry a concealed handgun in Minnesota if you have a license. There's no evidence that he ever reached for the weapon, which incidentally was already in police custody before they shot him. This was the second fatal shooting by immigration police, who 3 weeks earlier shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Good, also a U.S. citizen. She was shot inside her car as she tried to drive away from Border Patrol. The White House called the deadly shooting justifiable, alleging she attempted to run over the officers. The video tells a different story. Both tragedies have drawn widespread outrage, with citizens and lawmakers from both sides of the aisle calling for an investigation. The two shooters involved in the killing of the VA nurse have now been placed on leave. Gregory Bovino, the man heading Border Patrol, has been removed from his position. There are also calls for the resignation of Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem. This crisis, ladies and gentlemen, demonstrates the dangerous situation faced by all of us at the hands of an incompetent, mendacious White House administration that would seemingly run a mile to tell a lie rather than just walk across the street to tell the truth. 2 innocent people are dead, a nation grieves, many of us are angry, even some Republicans are fed up. Maybe it's time to put a stop to this deadly foolishness perpetrated by thugs wearing masks, masquerading as law enforcement. This is Norman Robinson off the top.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show right here at WBOK, 12:30 a.m. I'm Will Sutton here with Eddie Francis. Good conversation with Victor Sims about marriage and partnership.
Very good.
Oh,
very
my
good.
God.
I'm a little bit more motivated to watch Harry Potter now.
Yeah, I'm motivated too.
Yeah.
I'm going to share my motivation with my wife. So she knows that I'm going to work on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Be a better husband.
Yeah.
So, okay.
There you go.
All right. So look, important date, March 14th, special legislative election runoff.
Yes.
Yeah. So what we got, Eddie?
So we got Senate District 3, State Senate District 3, where Sidney Bartholomew II is in a runoff, and he is in the runoff against. Why am I not seeing this? Yes, against Ken Barnes. Yeah. The turnout for that election, by the way, 13.8%. And then we have House District 11, or I should say 100, where Kenyon Rounds and Dana Henry in the runoff. That turnout was 14.5%. By the way, the election that you talked about earlier, District 660, where Chastity Verrett Martinez, 27.5%.
How about that?
Yeah, 27.5. And so we do have these elections coming up. Don't forget about them. You know, they're nice. There's nice separation between Mardi Gras and the elections. So
absolutely.
Once you finish your Mardi Gras, put it on your calendar.
Please. Last day to register to vote in that election is tomorrow, February 11th. And you can still register to vote online by February 21. So there's some time. If you missed the last one, you can catch this one. It's 9 a.m., folks. It's time for us to get up and get out of here and make room for the glorious, culturally significant, and fun front porch. And that's going to be it for Eddie Francis and me. You going to come back tomorrow, man?
Yep, I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay,
I'll be here.
All right. I love it. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.